Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for this week's video, I'm just going to be filming a fun little mood reading vlog. So I'm going to take you guys along on my current reads, how I'm feeling about the books, what's going on regarding those. And starting off this week, I'm actually in the middle of 3 books. Yeah, so it's funny because I usually am in the middle of like 2 books because I'll have like an audiobook going on and like a physical copy book. But for this week and like the past couple days, I have a physical copy book, an audiobook, and then I have a book that I need to read for a class that I'm taking this year. We have to read it before the school year starts so we can have like a first day of school discussion or something. And so I'm also reading that book via audiobook because I just don't have the mental energy to read a school book, like paper read. So I just decided I was gonna listen to the audiobook and yeah, so that's what I'm doing. But to go through kind of all of the books that I'm reading, my physical copy book is City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare, which is the second book in the Mortal Instruments series. We are following Clary, Jace, and all the Shadow Hunters. Shadow Hunters are people in charge of killing demons, essentially, and in this world there are also vampires and werewolves, and they are called the Downworlders. So it's kind of like 3 little categories. Vampires and werewolves hate each other. Shadow Hunters are just overall hated by the Downworlders because they're seen as like a little higher up. And then of course there are the humans, but the humans have no idea that all of this is going on behind their brain or behind their eyes. I don't know, whatever. But basically in the first book, Claire is a human and she discovers that she can see shadow hunters and werewolves and all of that, and so that means that she herself is a shadow hunter. And then she finds out all of this lore and she just gets a lot of answers in the first book, and this one it's the continuation. In this one, I feel like we're a little bit more following Jace's story, who has been a shadow hunter all along, and we're seeing his family story, how he came about, how his brain works, and it's been really, really interesting so far. I've been kind of out and about, and so I haven't had a lot of time to sit down and actually read this book, but in the next couple days I will have a lot more free time, and so hopefully I will be able to get more through this. But I'm about 50% through this one, and so far I'm really liking it. I think it's a little bit slower for some reason than the first book, but that's okay. I'm still having a good time. It's not really bothering me. But yeah, Jace's stories is really interesting so far, and I'm excited to see where it goes. The fun audiobook that I'm listening to is House of Flame and Shadow. This is the last book in the Crescent City trilogy, and wow. This book is huge. Like, it's genuinely a brick. All of the books in this series are humongous, and the one thing about this series is that it's a very complex world and complex like fantasy system, and so it's really hard to like actually read. I completely read on paper the first book. I did a combination of audio and paper read for the second book, and this one I think I'm just going to be listening to the audio version. But the thing is, I really like the audio version because the way that the like voice actors talk is really, really understandable, and it makes the world a little more tangible. We're still once again following Bryce and Hunt on their journey. It is a urban fantasy, so it's a fantasy romantasy kind of thing, but it's very much focused on the political aspect of it. And the one thing that I really like is the urban part of this fantasy, how it's cell phones, sweatshirts, baseball hats, and yet there is this huge element of like demons and wings and angels and paranormal things. And I'm really, really enjoying this book so far. I'm like 30% through, which is a good chunk already, like almost a whole regular book. But hey, it's okay because this is a good story, and so it makes sense that this book is so long. But I'm having a great time. So far, my main thoughts are the connections between worlds is really interesting. If you have read this book, you know what I'm talking about, but I can't elaborate more or else it will be a spoiler. But the connections between different worlds are super interesting to me, and I'm excited to see where Sarah J Maas takes it. I'm hoping she doesn't take it one way because I feel like it would kind of ruin the story, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And other than that, I'm really enjoying all of the different perspectives because we're following all of the different characters because everyone is kind of dispersed at the moment. And so all of the different perspectives are all in different places. So it makes it a little bit more exciting and it has more variability and it's less mundane. And so that's a part that I'm really, really liking about this book so far. So yay. And then the book that I have to read for school, like I didn't know if I should talk about it in this vlog, but I was like, it is a book I'm reading. It's a book. So I might as well, and maybe some of you guys have read it before and you guys can tell me, give me some tips on like, I don't know, but the book that I have to read for school is The Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri. I probably butchered that, but essentially we are following the Ganguly family who are from Calcutta in India, and they are trying to become Americans because they had to move for the husband's job, and the wife gets pregnant and she gives birth to a son named Goggle. And essentially this book is about how just like the conflicts of culture and how their Indian culture and the American culture that they're trying to adapt to is so different, and it's something that they're not used to. And so it's kind of just going through that. And the back, a little part of the back says, the name they bestowed on their firstborn, Gogol, betrays all the conflicts of honoring tradition in a new world. Conflicts that will haunt Gogol on his own winding path through divided loyalties, comic detours, and wrenching love affairs. And so I think we're just following this family as they are going through different cultural experiences and cultural conflicts. And so far, I'm really interested. I started it last night. I'm 10% through because it is a pretty short book. It is only 318 pages. And so that is very short compared to some of the other books that I've been reading. So I'm like, I can do this. And so, yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it so far, surprisingly. Like, the writing is very good. Obviously, like, I'm not going to be reading a bad book for school. But I think it's just the mindset, like, that I have to read this book for school that is blocking me from, like, wanting to read it. Anyways, I'm rambling too much. Let's get on with the vlog. This series is stressing me out so bad, it's not even funny. Like, I'm supposed to be reading right now, but I can't. Oh, hello, it is the next day and I thought I would give you guys an update on where I'm at reading wise. So surprisingly, I have been really enjoying The Namesake. Like, I think the bulk of my reading has been The Namesake. I've been listening to it on like non-stop because I'm really, not even just because like I feel like I have to for school, but I've been reading it mostly like because I'm intrigued and like I really like the story. A big thing about why I'm enjoying this story as well is because this book is a lot about like cultural crossing a little bit, because our main character Goggle is from, his family is from India, and his family is very culturally Indian, so they do all of the Indian traditions and everything like that, but they moved to the US, so he feels more American than Indian, and so his mind is very like conflicted about where he stands regarding culture. And I can really relate to that personally because I was actually born in Europe, in France, and I've lived in a lot of countries in Europe, and then I moved here and I've lived here in the US for maybe I would say 8 years. And so I can really relate to the fact of like you feel kind of pulled by both cultures because European and US cultures are very different. Same with Indian and US cultures. And so I can really relate to him when he talks about just the conflicts that he feels internally. And I think that's one of the better parts of this book. It's just how well the author describes the inner turmoil that people deal with when they move away from their country or just have to deal with different cultures. So that's a part that I'm really enjoying. I'm 80% through the book right now, and I'm really enjoying how we get to follow Goggle's life also, because we get to see him grow up, right? We've followed him from his birth all the way to his, like, he's in his 30s right now, and I'm assuming we're gonna follow him till he dies. I don't know where it's gonna end, but so far I'm really enjoying it. We're at his wedding right now, and it's just like, it's really cool to see him grow into a person and into who he is while still dealing with these issues culturally. And then, of course, I'm still reading City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. I'm really liking this. I'm a little more through. I'm like, I would say 65% through, and I'm really enjoying it. I have had like really hard time lately sitting down and like reading. Not because this book is bad, it's just I've been feeling really restless and like, I don't know, I'll sit down and I feel like going on my phone, or I feel like doing something else, or going to do dishes or whatever, and my mind is having a hard time like sitting and reading. And so that's why I've been doing a lot of audiobooks, but I'm really enjoying this, and I really want to try and finish this as soon as possible. Probably not today, but hopefully tomorrow, because I really want to get to another paper book. I love how we are getting more perspective and more characters, because in the first book we were literally just getting Clary, and now we're also getting Jace and Simon and all of those people's perspectives, and Maya's, and all of these people. And so it's really interesting to see, and it's really expanding the story from just being one-sided to a full world, and kind of it's starting to make sense how this could be such a big series and not just like a duology or something like that. Okay guys, I've come to a conclusion. I want to try and binge as much as possible of this book as I can tonight. And I believe in myself, and I know I can do it, because I literally only have this, right? That's bingeable. That is so bingeable. It is 8:34 p.m. I can finish that chunk before midnight. Easily. And I want to get this book done. Not because I'm not enjoying it, because I want to move on, but like, I know I can do it. So that's the goal for tonight. I'm going to be binging this book. Okay? Hold me accountable. Hold me to this. I will not let my phone distract me and make me scroll. Okay, we're doing this. We're doing it. I have less than 100 pages left. So I finished City of Ashes like I said I would last night, and I'm so happy I finished it. Overall, I really liked it. I think I rated it a 3.5 stars. So I think I liked the first book better, just because you're kind of getting into that world and you're learning all the exciting things. And this second book was like, it felt like not a lot happened throughout the whole book. Like, it was fast paced, but when you are in the middle of reading it, you're like, okay, a lot is happening. But then when you finish the book, you're like, wait, like what actually happened? Like, I feel like we didn't progress that much in the book, but I still really enjoyed reading it. Like, that wasn't really a bad part of the book per se, but I think it all just kind of sort of did a lot of building up for the third book. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fast paced. Of course, it's YA, so it was a little bit cringy at times, but I don't mind. It was fun. Yeah, there was still the little bit of a conflicting part in this book. I can't say it because then it's gonna spoil it, but if you've read it, you obviously know what I'm talking about, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I know how it's gonna end, because like, I know, but I just don't know how it's gonna get there and how like the realization is gonna kick in. I don't know, but it's a very fun read. 3.5 stars. The one like big thing that I don't like is how long the chapters are. Like, that is what is really dragging me through this book. But other than that, it's a very fun read. And then I am 80% through The Namesake. I haven't gotten any further in House of Flame and Shadow for right now, just because I'm focusing my audiobook time on The Namesake because school is starting up soon. But I'm really liking The Namesake. As I was talking about, my thoughts haven't really changed from yesterday. I feel the exact same way basically. But yeah, I'm having a fun time. That's cool. It's very interesting, very relatable. Same thoughts overall. And so now I have to pick another paper book to start, and I'm thinking I want like a palette cleanser before I go into another like pretty thick book, because I want to read Phantasma, but I just read a fantasy book, and so I'm like, maybe I should pick up like a cute little romance that I can read like super fast as a palette cleanser. And so I decided I think I'm gonna read Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This is actually my first Ali Hazelwood book. I've not read any of her like scientific adult romances, just because I've heard it's really spicy, and so I decided to go on the safer spot and start with her young adult romances. And if you guys have read any of her adult romances, comment down below what you think. Is it worth the read? I'm not the biggest spice person, but I don't mind skipping spice, of course, because I've read like Chestnut Springs, for example, and I just skipped those scenes. But yeah, I think I'm gonna read Check and Mate, and in this one we are following Mallory, and she is done with chess. Every move counts nowadays, and the sport led to this destruction of her family 4 years earlier. Her focus is on her mom, her sisters, and everything else like that. But then she agrees to go and play in a charity tournament, and she wipes the board with the king killer Nolan Sawyer, the current world champion and reigning bad boy of chess. And everyone is shocked that Nolan loses against Mallory. And so she decides, okay, maybe I should start chess back up. And I think we're just following Nolan and Mallory in their journey of chess and all of that. And it's really fun. I feel like I could read this like pretty quickly and have a fun time. So Check and Mate is the next paper read. So let's go. Okay guys, don't mind the pimple patch, but I started Check and Mate and I am 124 pages in, and someone tell me why I'm having so much fun. I'm giggling so much right now. I'm having the best time. Like, I haven't read a YA romance in so long, and I think I've just like, I kind of missed it. Like, I love the like simple, just like giddiness of it, because you know, romances that are like adult romances, a lot of the time they're either way too spicy or there's a little bit of a like a serious undertone to it, like a deeper message. But for this one, like, I'm just having a giggly fun time and I'm loving it. Like, I'm just having so much fun, and we literally have only had one conversation with the main male character and I'm already giggling. Like, I'm giggling at this man. Anyways, I'm gonna keep reading and I might just finish it like tonight. It's 8:44 p.m. and knowing me, I'm not gonna know how to stop. Hey guys, it's me again in the same spot, but the next day. I finished The Namesake and I wanted to tell you guys what I thought about it. So I rated it a 4 stars, which is higher than I rate most school books, surprisingly. So I'm really happy that I read this, honestly. Like, I rated it so highly because of just, first of all, how I related to it. I think when I'm able to relate to a book, it kind of makes me more attached to the characters and the situation, thus making me rate it higher. But also because of the way that the author wrote, I thought it was really, really easy to follow, especially as an audiobook, because it kind of sounded like she was telling you a story and it was meant to be listened to, and so that's why I was really enthralled in the story. So it was really relatable, the writing was super easy to follow, and just overall it's a really good story. The one thing that like kind of frustrated me is the ending is kind of sad, like kind of depressing, and I was hoping a more happy ending. It's not sad like I'm crying, it's more like, kind of wish it had ended better. Like, it's not sad in the way like I wish it hadn't happened, but sad in the way like I'm kind of disappointed that something more significant didn't happen. But yeah, other than that, this was a really good book. I can see why my school wanted me to read this before going into senior year, and I really enjoyed it. And also, speaking of really enjoying it, I'm still reading the Checkmate. I am at like page 270 or page 280, and there are 350 pages, so I'm almost at the end. I'm definitely finishing it today, and so I'm excited to tell you guys my thoughts on that because I'm still giggling and laughing and having such a fun time. I cannot put the book down. I'm sitting on the couch, I'm not on my phone, I'm reading it. So let's go finish the Checkmate. So you know that whole thing about how I was like gonna sit down and I was gonna finish it definitely today? I literally just finished it. It's been like maybe an hour since I last talked to you. I sat down and I binged the entire thing. Well, the entire like remaining pages. It was like 70 pages. Wow, I read that so fast. I started this book like a day and a half ago. Fire. Fire! I haven't read a like YA romance in so long and I had so much fun. Like I need to read more YA romances. I think this is my sign. But I rated this a 4 stars. This was just so fun. I love the whole chess aspect. Like I literally know nothing about chess and I had a lot of fun. Like you don't need to know anything about chess to read this book. It's really fast paced. Nolan is quite literally perfect. Like he has no flaw. He's like the grumpy, but also like he loves her, so he's only grumpy, not grumpy with her essentially. And yeah, I just had so much fun. This was really fun. That's all I can say. It was really fun. What I will say is Mallory was a little bit irritating at times, but you just gotta get through it. You just gotta get through it and then you get through it and then you're fine. And then you're fine after just a couple chapters, but that's just a pre-warning. It does get a tiny bit angering. I don't know if that's a word, but yeah. Let's see what else. Oz is one of the chess players in this book, and near the end he has this speech. He gives her a pep talk, and I think that is one of my favorite parts of this book. If you have read it, it is the one where he's like at her doorstep and he like talks for like 3 pages to her, and I'm like, yes, Oz slays. Like he became one of my favorite characters after that, that's for sure. But yeah, this was so much fun. 4 stars. I'm so glad I read this. So I have read 3 books in this vlog so far. I read Check and Mate. I know in the previous clip I was talking about it, the Checkmate. That is not the name of the book. It's Check and Mate. I read The Namesake, and I read City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. So we had a pretty good lineup. I loved all of these books. I didn't end up finishing House of Flame and Shadow in this vlog just yet, just because it is a very thick book and I really want to make sure I enjoy it because, you know, with Sarah J Maas books, it takes some concentration, especially for Crescent City, and so I think I'll be finishing it a little bit later in the timeline of things. So anyways, that's it for today's reading vlog / mood reading vlog video vibe thing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next week or in my shorts, wherever you see me next. Bye.